NBC4 News at 6 starts with breaking news.
And at this hour, NBC4 is following breaking news. The LAPD in pursuit of a shooting suspect.
Yeah, live pictures right now. This is all started on the 134, the 210, 605, now on the eastbound 60. And it looks like the car has finally stopped. Gil Levis overhead in News Chopper 4.
It just stopped. It went from 100 miles an hour to 0 that quick. In fact, it started at the 5 freeway and the 134. That's when the suspect got on the 134 eastbound, made it on his way to the 210 freeway, and then now southbound 605 to the 60. Now he's being arrested. This is a want on this vehicle was for a shooting suspect. The shooting happened not today, but another day. LAPD airship overhead following the vehicle, tracking the vehicle. You can see the video that we shot just a moment ago all on the 210 freeway. That suspect was throwing out some debris. I don't know if it was drug paraphernalia or drugs itself, but we saw some white powdery substance coming out, and then a big white baggie that he threw out on a surface street right there. You saw him toss that out. Now the suspect being taken into custody by the California Highway Patrol here on the 60 freeway. He just transitioned from the southbound 605 onto the eastbound 60. That's when he pulled over. He might have been out of gas. In fact, he's just slowed it down on that transition road. But again, this suspect wanted in a shooting out of the Northeast Division of LAPD. That pursuit starting in that area. It was actually Colorado Boulevard, I believe. It made its way to the 5 freeway, then on that 134, making its way down to the 605. But you can see how he was evading the officers here, trying everything he could, weaving in and out of traffic, using the shoulder, using the center divider, coming really close to hitting multiple cars. California Highway Patrol and the LAPD doing a great job to apprehend this suspect. Again, the pursuit is ending here on the transition road onto the 60 freeway eastbound. That suspect being taken into custody, and it is starting to cause a backup on that eastbound 60 freeway. That's the very latest in News Chopper 4. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Gil, thanks so much. A fast freeway pursuit there, ending peacefully. Appreciate that.
The chase is over, but the story is just beginning. Who was behind the wheel? Why were they running? And will they get the justice they deserve? We'll stay with it online and on air for you.
And now at 6, new details on this Southern California father accused of murdering his 5-year-old son. We're talking about Aaron Andresian Sr. New details reveal his casino lifestyle, and all while the search for his child continues. Good evening, everyone. My gosh, a lot of good news. I'm Lolita Lopez.
Hi, everyone. I'm Macallan Medina. Adrian and Kathy are off right now. Right now, Mr. Andresian Sr. is sitting in a Vegas jail, awaiting extradition back to LA County. NBC4's Christine Kim uncovering new information about what he's doing in Las Vegas when he was arrested. Christine.
Mac and Lolita, that arrest came as a shock to many people, and close friends of the boy's mother tells me they met with her last night to offer support. Obviously a roller coaster of emotions after learning the boy's father was arrested in that boy's murder. But his family says they won't give up until they find him.
Her son's everything to her.
With tears in their eyes, Rose and Olivia say they'll continue to pass out flyers until Ara Andresian Jr. returns home. The close friends of the boy's mother, Anna, asked us not to show their faces to shift the spotlight away from them and onto the 5-year-old.
I don't think there's words to describe how the mother's holding up. I mean, the allegations are the unthinkable. She's doing the best she can.
The boy's father, 35-year-old Aramaz Andresian Sr., was arrested yesterday in Las Vegas. Homicide investigators providing enough evidence to book him into the Clark County Jail for the murder of his son. His hair color and image noticeably different. Since then, we've learned from a police source that he was arrested at the Vidara on the Las Vegas Strip, and he lived in hotels and casinos in that city for more than a month. His defense attorney tells me his client contends he has no idea where his son is and had nothing to do with his disappearance. Detectives say the boy was last seen with his dad before a custody exchange in April.
We're still hoping for the best, and we're going to keep looking. We're going to keep looking.
Meanwhile, posters remain along little Ara's maternal grandmother's home in Baldwin Park, and his family refuses to give up.
There is that ounce of hope. That's what we're holding on to, and we won't stop searching until Anna finds her baby, but there's some kind of closure for her.
Our senior's bail is set at $10 million. He remains in that Las Vegas jail. His lawyer advised him to waive extradition so that he can be brought back to Los Angeles for his arraignment. Reporting live in South Pasadena, I'm Christine Kim, NBC4 News.
All right, thank you so much, Christine. Now we want to give you a live look right now at Malibu, maybe the place to be there. Heard some parts of Southern California were hit with a few showers today. Now we've got some cooler temperatures this evening compared to the heat wave we had this week. Meteorologist Anthony Yanez joins us with the details in your First Alert forecast. Anthony.
Lolita, let me start with our live Doppler network and show you what I'm tracking here, because you can see the rain that we do have out in a couple of spots here. And so I'm going to zoom around and show you the high desert where there's a couple of cells that are left over. And then specifically, you see in your right, would you see that heavy rain that's right there? The concern for the rest of the evening is dry lightning, and that's going to be in place for about 3 more hours. We did also have a passing shower or two in LA, the Valley, and also Glendale. You can see since this time we have dried out, but what I'm watching for tonight and tomorrow is dry lightning's a threat. Again, for tonight, it's going to be a hotter Sunday, so some of us got a little bit of a break from the heat. Of course, the humidity was higher, but we do have that coastal marine layer that's going to be sticking around, bringing cooler temperatures for the end of our weekend along the coastline. We'll talk about all of these things and more coming up in your First Alert forecast.
Cooler can't come fast enough. Thanks, Anthony. Just into our newsroom now, a hotel near the White House evacuated as firefighters battled flames. This is the Westin at Thomas Circle. The photo shows some smoke coming from the roof of the building. According to the hotel, the fire started in the first floor kitchen and then spread over to the air ducts. Firefighters say luckily there's been no reported injuries.
Firefighters now say they have a handle on this brush fire burning in Devore. NBC4 viewers have been sending us photos of the fire near Cable Canyon and the 215 freeway. CAL FIRE officials say it's now burned about 4 acres. Remember, when you see news as it happens, send us your pictures and video to ic@nbcla.com.
Saw a lot of pictures of this on the 101 this morning. Traffic finally reopened on the 101 after this caused a huge backup on the freeway. This is over in the Valley Village area. A cement truck rolled over and spilled about 75 gallons of fuel. It happened near Laurel Canyon. The westbound lanes were completely shut down for nearly 5 hours. Not a good way to spend a Saturday. It's not clear exactly what caused the accident. The driver of the truck luckily was not seriously hurt.
Well, this was graduation day for the latest group of LAPD youth cadets, and most of them say a scandal in their program won't slow them down. NBC4's Rick Montanez is live at the USC's Galen Center, where many young cadets are simply trying to focus on their futures. Rick.
And Lolita, Chief Charlie Beck also trying to shift that focus away from the huge scandal to the good this cadet program brings to thousands of teenagers here in Los Angeles.
We believe in their future, and we'll protect that future. And I'll protect it in any way possible because you are my cadets.
Los Angeles Police Chief Charlie Beck addressing his graduating cadets, their families, and others in the police department.
The individuals that did this did not reflect the thousands of great things and thousands of great cadets that we have in our program.
18-year-old Omar Prudencia, a dedicated cadet for 5 years, says the program has made him a leader and is helping him start college in the fall. Positive influences, he says, are largely the result of being an LAPD cadet.
At the end of the day, we're dedicated to community service.
It's disappointing because a lot of us have a lot of love for this program.
The disappointing allegations and massive scandal unavoidable at today's graduation. This week, Chief Beck arrested his own officer, Robert Kane. He's accused of sleeping with a 15-year-old female cadet. She and 6 other cadets also in trouble for taking LAPD cruisers and other equipment enabled, police say, by Kane. 2 police pursuits and crashes, the catalyst for the investigation and arrests. Chief Beck himself inspecting each cadet at today's graduation, then acknowledging the scandal, but also, he says, his dedication.
To me, it was a way to reaffirm my commitment to them and their belief in us.
Chief Beck says there's still evidence, including social media accounts, to sort through in this investigation, but he also says there have been no additional officers, cadets, or anyone else that has been implicated as officers continue to look into this scandal through the cadet program. We're live at USC. I'm Rick Montanez, NBC4 News.
Rick, thanks so much. New at 6, a pretty remarkable story here. A child somehow alive after plummeting 80 feet in the Angeles National Forest. The LA County Sheriff's Department says a little boy stumbled and fell near a falls earlier today. This is a photo deputies took as the 8-year-old was being airlifted from the scene. We're working right now to get an update on exactly his condition, but he is alive.
And we have an update now on a story we first brought you at 5 o'clock. We've just learned that an 8-hour SWAT standoff near San Diego has just come to an end. Now, this all began early this morning in National City. Police responded to a call of shots fired, and when they arrived, one person was dead on the sidewalk and another person was wounded. SWAT officers were called in to locate the suspected shooter, who eventually turned up inside a home. Negotiations and careful surveillance continued throughout the day, and that suspected killer just surrendered without further incident.
Santa Ana police officer recovering tonight after being involved in this accident. He's expected to be okay, luckily. It happened around 3 o'clock in the morning near 1st and Jackson Streets. Police say another driver crashed into the officer's car. Rescue crews had to help get the officer out. Right now, investigators try to figure out exactly what caused this crash in the first place.
And tonight, members of the British Parliament are doing what regular citizens like you and I do quite often when something happens with their work computers. Well, they're calling their Information Technology Department. The British Trade Minister says someone launched a cyber attack targeting the email accounts of elected officials. And as a result, many members of Parliament are without email access. There was a familiar explanation also for this breach.
It is not a surprise that such an attack would take place, nor is it surprising that there would be some weaknesses, because people don't take basic precautions in having a complex enough password for their computer systems.
Change that password, people. Now, it was just a month ago that ransomware attack crippled part of the British's National Health Service. The country's cybersecurity force is trying to figure out who is now responsible for this latest breach.
Let's take you to Pasadena now. We're happening right now. Live bands are taking over 3 stages. They're all part of the inaugural Arroyo Seco Weekend, a music and arts festival, and police are making their presence known as well.
We're just here to listen to some good music. I don't mind the extra security. There could be more police officers. I welcome it.
I feel it's better to be safe than sorry, and it's better that they're here.
Today and tomorrow, some 30 acts will be putting on a show near the Rose Bowl. Tom Petty, we're told, and the Heartbreakers will be there, as well as Alabama Shakes, Mumford & Sons, Weezer, all there as well, just to name a few.
That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, looks like a lot of fun. A plane falls from the sky and slams into a daycare.
Wow, the terrifying moments captured by a surveillance camera.
Flipped over, hit the side of that building, did a somersault, landed in front, and blew up.
My goodness. Still ahead, we've got new details on this deadly descent. Plus this.
Right there in the parking lot. Tornado right in the parking lot.
Yeah, it may look like a tornado, but find out exactly what this force of nature actually was as it tore through a Home Depot parking lot.
And with brush fire season picking up in Southern California, NBC4 is showing you how firefighters are getting proactive and what that all means for you. We'll be right back.